We are moving on to our next topic, that is digital workplace stepping into the future. We have with us Mr. Puneet Dhar, National Product Manager, Crestron India. Please get your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Dhar joins us on stage.
Hello. Good evening to all of you. I am Puneet Dhar, and I work with Crestron as a National Product Manager. Today, I am here to deliver a presentation of the topic of digital workplace, slightly different from the day-to-day routine. But what I'm going to talk about is the challenges that we face in our workplace when we have to collaborate and communicate with our colleagues, and how Crestron can help you overcome such kind of challenges. Before I move ahead, let me give a very quick introduction about who we are. We were founded in the year 1972, and we have been the pioneers in the AV space since time. We have been able to come out with a lot of innovations in the industry. In fact, in year 2001, we came out with the first touch screen that was to be used in the AV space. And then, over a period of time, we have also moved into the unified communication space. So now, as on today, while we speak about Crestron, we provide the solution to the customers not only for the AV, but also for the unified communication space. We are, our global headquarters is based out of New Jersey, and in India, we are headquartered in Bangalore. And that's the place wherein in world we have got around three software development centers, and one such software development center is based out of Bangalore. And that's the place we also have got our customer experience center. So that's the place wherein we have put in a lot of stuff, lot of technology, and that's where we generally invite the customers and get a chance to showcase how we address day-to-day business challenges. When it comes to Crestron, the four pillars or the four value pillars of Crestron are simple to deploy. So when we design any solution, we definitely keep the end user in mind. We also keep in mind how simple it should be to install and how simple and convenient it should be to manage. Ease of use, because we know that the technology would be driven by or will be used by the end user. We have to ensure that the technology is such simple, although the technology is taking care of the complicated challenges or the complicated workflows, but from the end user perspective, it is easy to use and easy to operate. Secure by design, I think, is the most important aspect from any organization perspective, because whenever you are talking about any device on the network, security is paramount, and it has to be ensured that the device is secure from all the aspects. And our solutions support all the industry-grade security mechanisms. And not to forget that some of the solutions in our portfolio are also certified by JITC and NIIP. And those of you who are familiar with the security paradigms will understand that JITC and NIIP is actually US Department of Defense authorities, and they certify the devices to be deployed securely over the network. And then we are informed by the experience as well. So, we have a legacy, and all the install base at different customer fields, and our channel partners give us a feedback to improvise as well. So, the topic today was the collaboration in the workplace. So we know that the trends that were existing before the COVID, during the COVID, and post-COVID as well. And basically, post-COVID, we have got into a new scenario or new arena, which is called as a hybrid workplace, wherein not everybody has been back to the office. We have some people who are working out of home. We have some people who are working out of office. And then we have some rotation mechanism as well. So at workplace, we have to ensure that we have a technology which is consistent and seamless for the users, either when they are working at home or they are at office, or when they are swapping, and then somebody who was earlier working at home is now at office. We have to ensure that those change of places does not actually distract the end user, and they are able to take the full benefit of the technology. However, this post-COVID time frame has also put a lot of strain on IT, because now, before COVID, we were only talking about certain meeting rooms in any organizations, but now we are talking about a hybrid workplace wherein there are multiple meeting rooms, open spaces of collaboration in the offices, and we are also talking about the offices at home as well. So from the IT perspective, there has been a huge strain, and somewhere that's where the Crestron solution will address those kind of challenges. So when you talk about the collaboration at the workplace, let us first understand what are the expectations, and these are the bare minimum expectations of every user in the workplace. The first and foremost is that any technology that is there in the room for collaboration needs or for the interactive purposes has to be easy to use. If as a user we walk into the room and we find that there are a lot of things that we have to operate and manage before we get going with the technology, perhaps we'll never adopt that kind of a thing. If you're talking about the video collaboration, you got to ensure that the experience that you get from that device in terms of the audio quality and the video quality is excellent. We often come across scenarios wherein we have some meeting, but we don't find the available meeting rooms. All the meeting rooms are already utilized. Some of those meetings might have been planned well in advance. Some of those meetings might be ad hoc in nature. And what happens is that when we need that space for our meeting, there is no space available because every space in the organization is occupied. We talk about the collaboration. Often we have seen that when we walk into the meeting room, and if every meeting room has a different kind of a technology, we generally tend to struggle to share the content as well. We don't know what kind of a cable has to be used with the laptop. Can I share the content wirelessly? Why the content is not coming on the display? So these are the basic challenges that we face in our day-to-day collaboration space. And then some of the other needs are that the technology that is being deployed should be easy to operate and then easy to manage. However, while we talk about these fundamental needs, we also know that not every meeting space in any organization is same. We might have a very small room, we might have a very big room, we might be talking about the open spaces, we might be talking about the auditoriums, teaching rooms, learning rooms. So what it means is that although you have got different kind of meeting spaces in your organization, the basic end need for any user remains the same. That's where the Crestron Flex digital workplace technology comes into play. So with the help of the Crestron digital flex technology, we are able to overcome some of those challenges that I have just highlighted in my previous slide. So some of the key benefits of the Crestron technology is that we offer you a single platform. So be it a requirement of a AV in the room, be it the requirement of the UC, or put together the combined benefits of the AV and the UC in the meeting room, Crestron provides a single platform to deploy and manage. We also provide the purpose-built devices. So I'll explain this in my next slide as well. But what we mean by purpose-built devices is that while we talk about the different space, we need to ensure that as a user, I should not feel that the technology has changed from one room to the other. It should give a consistent experience to the user so that they don't struggle with the technology, they don't struggle with the devices. And then that's where the purpose-built devices come into the play. I spoke about the non-availability of the meeting rooms or not being able to reserve the meeting space for your very important meeting. So we do provide the solution. We do provide the solution to basically address those kind of challenges as well. And then from the IT perspective, the most important is how to scale the solution, which is working very well for your team, and how to manage that as well. How to effectively manage so that we have the maximum uptime, and then those kind of meeting spaces are always available to the users. So I spoke about the single platform. So some of the advantages of the single platform is that when you have a single platform deployed in your organization, you don't need to put a lot of emphasis on the education or training to the end users, because irrespective of the type of the meeting space you are in, you have a consistent experience across the different meeting rooms. And from a user perspective, if I know how to operate the technology, how to connect from that space into my collaboration calls, I'll be able to do that from the rest of these meeting spaces as well. Well, as I said, since the adoption of it also helps in the adoption of the technology, because if as a user we are comfortable with the use of the technology, we generally tend to use it quite often because we are comfortable and we don't need to put a lot of brains behind the operation of that technology. And then it also allows the IT to manage everything. So whether you have got the AV on the network or you have got the video devices on the network, if you can get a single dashboard from where you see the complete inventory of your devices on the network, you see the health of those devices in the network, it helps the IT to proactively monitor the status of the devices and ensure that there is a maximum uptime. So when you talk about the standard spaces, I said there are different kind of meeting rooms, there are different kind of collaboration spaces in any organization. How Crestron technology can enable the users to have the standard space. So Crestron Flex do provide you native Microsoft Teams or native Zoom room experience. So those users who use Microsoft Teams as the collaboration platform, or they use Zoom as a collaboration platform, Crestron Flex can provide a native team room experience or Zoom room experience to the users in those kind of spaces. There are devices which are purpose-built, so I'll show you what kind of devices I'm talking about, but then there are devices which are purpose-built for different kind of spaces to ensure that the user get a consistent experience across those different kind of spaces. Now, some of the advantages of the purpose-built devices is that they enable you to have the consistent experience, or they enable you to maintain the experience across different spaces. They also deliver high-quality audio and video, and they also give you the idea of inclusiveness and equality in the meeting room. When I am in the meeting room and I am one of the participants in the meeting room, I want equality in the meeting room. I don't want to have a solution wherein the technology is doing some bias in terms of the people in the room or person who is speaking in the room. We all want to ensure that everybody who's speaking in the room is audible to the far side, and everybody who's present in the room is visible to the people on the far side. So that's the benefit of the technology, wherein it provides you equality and inclusiveness. So I spoke about the purpose-built devices. So irrespective of the kind of a space, be it a personal space, be it the CIO, CTO's cabin, you talk about the small, medium, large meeting room, or you're talking about the auditoriums, training rooms, open spaces, Crestron Flex provide you the purpose-built devices to achieve your collaboration needs. And then when you combine the benefits of AV with your Crestron Flex UC, you get complete end-to-end experience. So again, let me put up a scenario wherein many a times we have seen that when we enter into a meeting room and we have to, the meeting is about to start, we have to first struggle with a lot of devices in the meeting room. So we have to ensure we know what kind of a remote is there, which will turn on my TV, what kind of a remote is there through which I can turn on my air conditioner, perhaps the lighting, and a lot of other things in the room. When you utilize the Crestron AV in that room, it can lead into the automation of the meeting room, wherein when you walk into the room, the system will detect your presence in the room, and everything will, the automation will take over, wherein your displays will turn on, your air conditioner will turn on, the lighting will turn on automatically for your collaboration calls. So all you need to do is walk into the room, go to the console, and just click the join button to connect to your meeting, because that's the purpose of you being in that room. So instead of wasting your time on managing a lot of devices in the room, automation will ensure that everything that is required in that meeting space is already taken care of, and all you need to do is just click on the join button to connect to your meeting. So in the beginning, I spoke about the challenges typically we face in the meeting room, and one such important challenge is about inability to share the content. So you might have a HDMI wire in the room, but your device may not have the HDMI input. Say, for example, I want to share the content from my smartphone, or I'm carrying an iPad or a tablet with me. I can't connect the HDMI cable to these kind of peripherals. So when it comes to Crestron, we provide the wireless and the wired methods of sharing the content in the room. And the beauty of this this solution is that irrespective of the kind of device you are carrying in the room, be it your smartphone, tablet, or your laptops, be it the Windows laptop or the Macintosh, this device will ensure that irrespective of the kind of device you are carrying, you are able to share the content in the meeting room. We also spoke about the reservation of your meeting space. Very often we have seen that we have some meeting which is ad hoc in nature, but then when we need the meeting space, we find that that meeting space is already being utilized, or somebody is, either they have reserved that space for their meeting, or somebody has just walked into that room and then they have started their meeting. So with the help of the Crestron Flex scheduling, we provide the option to the users to reserve their meeting space. So if at all you have got meeting rooms in your space, you can book those meeting spaces from your PC itself, and which means that whenever the meeting starts or your meeting is about to start, that meeting room will be reserved for your meeting. On the scheduling panel, which sits outside of the meeting room, entire meeting information will be available, so that when I walk near to that room, I can see that this is the meeting room from where I have to take my meeting. And in case I am not one of the participants in that for that meeting, at least I can see that this space is booked by some other person for his meeting, and for how long, so that accordingly for my next meeting, I can plan, I can book that space, or in case the room is free, nobody is in, I can still book the ad hoc meeting right from the scheduling panel itself, so that if somebody else walks outside of the door, instead of knocking at the door and asking me for how long you want to continue and stuff like that, everything related to that meeting would be available right outside of the door, and it won't actually lead to the disruption of your meeting also. Then it is also followed with a lot of other accessories like the lighting indicators. So lighting indicators of different forms notify the users whether the room is in use or free. So say, for example, if you see in the pictorial as well, if the lighting indicator is green outside of your room, it means that the room is free, and then you can go to the panel and you can see for how long the room is free, so that you can accordingly book that room for your meeting. And in case the panel is red or the lighting indicator is red, it means that room is in use. Somebody is already in the room and somebody is already utilizing the room. And you have to either wait or you have to just find some other room. This also provides you, when you talk about the Crestron Flex scheduling, it also gives you the options of various scheduling platforms. So typically, we have seen that a lot of customers who are either using Microsoft Teams for their collaboration needs or they are using Zoom for their collaboration need, wants to have a consistent user interface on all the devices. So those devices can be the devices in the meeting room, and we also give you the native Microsoft Team experience or a native Zoom experience on these kind of scheduling panels as well, so that users don't struggle and they don't have to find it hard to utilize or make use of those kind of devices. And in the last, I'm talking about the Crestron Xio because I spoke about the requirement of being able to manage your devices. So it's when you do the installation of your AV and the UC in the meeting space, it's equally important of being able to manage all those kind of devices centrally, because it may not be humanly possible to walk around each room and just to find out how the devices are working. So with the help of the Crestron Xio Cloud, which actually is a subscription-based service or a SaaS service hosted out of the Microsoft Azure Center, as a IT administrator, I can have a complete dashboard of all the install in my space. I can have proactive alerts so that in case some meeting is about to happen, I can proactively work on those alerts. And then I can also maintain the life cycle. So I can proactively do the software upgrade of my devices. I can see for how long, whether my system is in operational state or not. And I can also get a lot of analytical information for this kind of a service. In the last, I just have a very small video wherein whatever we discussed so far will be shown to you in the form of a very small demo. So let me quickly run it.
Hi, this is Jason coming to you again from Crestron Next. When we enter our meeting spaces, many times that journey starts at the desktop. We book our room, we need to locate our room. Maybe it's a room we're walking up to and we need to create an ad hoc reservation, or we just need to find the room that we reserved. So our experience starts outside the room, Crestron scheduling panel. You can see here today with our room information, we also have high visibility signs that help us locate the room. From there, we'll move inside the room and take a look at the technology inside the space. Now that we've booked the room, let's take a look into the space. So as I walk into the room, we have a simple occupancy sensor that knows when I walk in to bring down the shades, turn on the lights, and activate our displays. So it's part of that complete Crestron solution. Looking at the rest of the space, the core of the room is a Microsoft Teams room solution with easy one-touch join. We have Air Media capability. We have our flip top on display to show the ease of connectivity in the space, and it's all wrapped around taking all of these different technologies and bringing them together in that singular Crestron experience. We have NVX for content distribution, be able to bring all of our different video signals as well as USB signal types to and from the room. For audio in the room, we have the Shure MXA microphone connected back to IntelliMix software running on the UC engine. We take that audio from the far end, moving it back to PoE-based speakers in the room as well. So as I walk around, ease of use is critical. I'm able to walk up to the Air Media. I'm able to go ahead and start presenting. I can bring it into my display. I can walk up to the Microsoft Teams room console on our touch panel. I can select the one-touch join capability, easily join a meeting, connect with other users in the far end, taking advantage of all of that technology with 2 simple presses, and moving into the space, I was able to accomplish all of those different functions. And that's the power of the complete Crestron experience.
Yeah, thank you. So just 10 more seconds, just 10 more seconds. So we have put up a technology booth as well. So my request is whenever you get time, please visit us on the booth. And we have put in everything that I spoke about in this presentation. So I'm sure that will definitely give you a very good experience about the Crestron workplace technology. And thank you so much again for your time.